This is your number one independent radio, Raypower on 100.5 FM Abuja. Hello and welcome to the news desk. I am Idimachi Ikechukwu. First, headlines. Aminu Tambuwal dumps PDP for ADC, cites party crisis. Federal government backs ASU move to probe corrupt VCs misappropriating educational funds. Chinese national arrested for attempted smuggling of queen ants out of Kenya. And China passes law on shared ethnicity as critics warn of harm to minority. We'll bring you details shortly.
News drops, it breaks with us. Join us for news on the hour every hour. News desk at 12 noon, Metro News at 4 p.m. Enjoy infotainment, breaking and sports news at their best 24/7.
This is Raypower FM News.
And now the news in detail. The senator representing Sokoto South, Aminu Tambuwal, has resigned from the People's Democratic Party and defected to the African Democratic Congress. Tambuwal, a former governor of Sokoto State and ex-speaker of the House of Representatives, announced his decision in a resignation letter dated March 11, 2026, addressed to the People's Democratic Party ward chairman in Tambuwal Shimfiri ward of Tambuwal local government area. The lawmaker said the move follows consultations with his political associates and supporters. He cited persistent internal crisis, leadership disagreements, and growing divisions within the PDP as reasons for leaving the opposition party. Despite his defection, Tambuwal expressed appreciation to the PDP for the opportunities it gave him to serve in various capacities. And still on political matters, the African Democratic Congress has suspended the senator representing the Federal Capital Territory, Ireti Kingibe. The Wuse District Ward of the party announced at a stakeholders meeting attended by the executives and members of ADC in Abuja, saying the action became necessary following a series of allegations over anti-party activities, insubordination to party leadership, and violations of party rules. The chairman of the ward, Kanayo Chukwu, explained that other allegations which forced over 2,000 members of the general meeting to reach such a resolution include the confiscation of the ward register, running of a parallel registration process, consistent absence from ward meetings, and failure to pay statutory party dues. In December 2025, Senator Ireti officially defected to the ADC from the Labour Party, where she registered as a member on the 18th. Kingibe had cited that the Labour Party's fractured and broken structure forced her to switch to another party to secure her seat in 2027. The federal government has expressed support for a planned investigation by the Academic Staff Union of Universities into alleged corruption and financial mismanagement involving vice chancellors of public universities. ASU says it will scrutinize how funds from the Tertiary Education Trust Fund and the Nigeria Education Loan Fund are being utilized across institutions. ASU President Crispy Wani raised the concerns in Abuja during the public presentation of 72 academic textbooks, alleging that some university heads divert or improperly manage funds meant for development projects and students' loans. Peona said the union would demand full accountability for the use of TED fund interventions, noting that some vice chancellors treat the disbursements as routine allocations used at their discretion. Supporting the move, the Minister of Education, Tunji Alausa, called for greater transparency, saying public funds allocated to universities must be used strictly for their intended purposes. And now the House of Representatives has prescribed a 2-year jail term or a 10 million naira fine on anyone convicted of being a member of two political parties at the same time in Nigeria. This, however, is dependent on how quickly the recently assented Electoral Act 2026 sails through.
The lawmakers amended Section 77 of the Act, standing in the name of the House Leader, Julius Ihobere. The executive bill comes exactly 3 weeks after President Bola Tinubu signed the 2026 Electoral Act into law. House Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu, who presided over the session, told his colleagues that the legislation is aimed at preventing mischief and dishonesty, as some politicians may intentionally maintain membership of two political parties at the same time. The amendment introduces 3 additional subsections, 8, 9, and 10, which provide that a person shall not be registered as a member of more than one political party at the same time, where it is established that a person is a member of more than one political party at the same time, such dual membership shall be void, and the person shall cease to be recognized as a valid member of any political party, pending regularization in accordance with the provisions of this Act and the constitution of the political party concerned. A person who knowingly registers or maintains membership of more than one political party at the same time commits an offense liable to conviction, to a fine of 10 million naira, or to imprisonment for a term of 2 years or both. But lawmakers in their various contributions argue that the new provisions may also give room for mischief from political opponents, especially after a defection from one political party to another. Among those who raised this concern was member representing Idiato North and South Federal Constituency of Imo State, Ikenga Ugochinyere. He warned that if not properly crafted, the legislation could become an avenue for politicians to seek disqualification of their opponents in court during elections. This position was shared by Shada Soli, who argued that the new provisions were not clearly drafted. He proposed that if the name of an individual is observed to appear on the register of two political parties, the Commission should be directed to notify the affected political party and give the affected individual 14 days to choose the political party whose membership he intends to retain. According to him, failure to make such a choice within the stipulated time should render the person ineligible to participate in the primary election of any political party for what electoral cycle.
Leaders and stakeholders from Nigeria's southeast geopolitical zone have expressed support for the proposed creation of an named state. The endorsement was reinforced during a meeting between a delegation from Imo State and Anambra State and the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Benjamin Kalu, who also chairs the House Committee on Constitution Review. Speaking on behalf of the delegation, Senator Osita Izunaso noted that the agitation for an named state enjoys broad support from political leaders, traditional rulers, lawmakers, and community representatives across the affected areas. Responding, Kalu described the creation of new states as a strategic tool for development and inclusive governance, noting that the Southeast remains the only geopolitical zone with 5 states, unlike others that have 6. The Nigeria police force in Zamfara State has arrested a suspect found in possession of a large cache of live ammunition. In a statement, police spokesperson Yazid Abubakar said the arrest was made during a routine patrol along the Gusau-Funtal Federal Road at the Yankara checkpoint. The suspect, 25-year-old Manir Adam, was intercepted while riding a motorcycle. A search of the bike reportedly uncovered 800 rounds of AK-47 7.62mm live ammunition concealed inside the motorcycle fuel tank. Police say preliminary findings showed the suspect was traveling from Saminaka in Kaduna State and was heading to Kucheri village in Safe local government area. You are listening to News Desk on Raypower 100.5 FM. In the news, Aminu Tambuwal dumps PDP for ADC, cites party crisis. Federal government backs ASU move to probe corrupt VCs misappropriating educational funds. And still to come, Chinese national arrested for attempted smuggling of queen ants out of Kenya. And China passes law on shared ethnicity as critics warn of harm to minority. Plus business, entertainment, sports, and weather. Please stay with us.
As the news drops, it breaks with us. Join us for news on the hour every hour. News desk at 12 noon. Metro News at 4 p.m. Enjoy infotainment, breaking and sports news at their best 24/7.
This is Raypower FM News.
Thanks for staying with us. A Chinese national has been arrested in Kenya's main airport, accused of attempting to smuggle more than 2,000 queen garden ants out of the country. Zhang Qiquan was intercepted during a security check at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport in the capital, Nairobi, after authorities discovered a large consignment of live ants in his luggage bound for China. He has yet to respond to the accusation, but investigators said in court that he was linked to a garden ant trafficking network that was broken up last year in Kenya. The ants are protected by international biodiversity treaties, and their trade is highly regulated. Still on the foreign scene, China has passed a new law aimed at promoting what it describes as a shared national identity among the country's ethnic groups. The legislation, titled Promoting Ethnic Unity and Progress, was approved during the closing session of the National People's Congress with 2,756 votes in favor, 3 against, and 3 abstentions. According to officials, the law seeks to strengthen national unity and advance the rejuvenation of the Chinese nation under the leadership of the Chinese Communist Party.
And now, a business update from Raypower 100 FM.
The International Energy Agency says the ongoing conflict in the Middle East has triggered what could become the largest oil supply disruption in the history of the global market. In its latest monthly oil market report, the agency said Gulf countries in the region have cut oil production by at least 10 million barrels per day, nearly 10% of global demand. The IEA warned that without a swift restoration of shipping flows, the supply losses could worsen, promoting the release of a record volume of oil from strategic stockpiles.
This is entertainment news on Raypower 100.5 FM.
A jury has ordered controversial U.S. rapper Kanye West to pay $140,000 after a handyman sued him over unpaid work for renovations at his Malibu mansion. The verdict in the trial in Los Angeles came after Tony Saxon claimed the rapper did not pay him properly for work at the beachside property and fired him unjustly. The rapper's team argued in court that Saxon was an unlicensed contractor who destroyed the architectural gem while working there. Saxon had sought $1.7 million in damages, but a jury awarded him $140,000 along with attorney and court fees.
Raypower Sport.
English clubs endured a difficult outing in the UEFA Champions League, raising questions about the dominance of the Premier League. Manchester City and Chelsea suffered heavy defeats following earlier losses for Liverpool and Tottenham Hotspur. Arsenal narrowly avoided defeat with Kai Havertz scoring a last-minute penalty to secure a draw against Bayer Leverkusen. And in tennis, Jack Draper produced an impressive comeback to defeat Novak Djokovic and reach the 4th round of the Indian Wells Open. Defending champion Draper recovered after losing the 4-6, 6-4, 7-6 in the match lasting 2 hours and 35 minutes. The victory marks Draper's first win over Djokovic, who had previously defeated him at the Wimbledon Championships in 2021.
Raypower weather.
This afternoon will be hot and mostly sunny across much of the country. Temperatures will rise to around 35 to 36 degrees Celsius, especially across the northern and north-central regions. The south will see partly cloudy skies with a slight chance of isolated thunderstorms later in the day. To end the news desk, here is our last line. In the words of Zig Ziglar, an author, salesman, and motivational speaker, what you get by achieving your goals is not as important as who you become by achieving your goals. And that's it for the news desk. I am Idi Machi Ikechukwu. You can now watch us online and also subscribe to our YouTube channel at Raypower 100.5 FM Abuja. News on the hour comes up at 1 p.m. Good afternoon.
providing 360 degrees of information and entertainment. Reloaded for today's Niger.
Raypower.